A little bit behind me, but he started later in life. I started at 10, went through puberty young. By 13, I was a full-grown manlet. Coach Greg, and today's video is on Lex Little, who isn't so little anymore. Now, is he? He first started lifting weights around the age of 14 or 15, and since then, he's blown up, especially in the legs. Now, I'm doing a Natty or Not video, and what makes this one really interesting is I actually talk to him about it. I say, hey, what's up? Are you actually natural? I'm going to tell you what he said. I'm going to tell you what I said to him. So let's start out by looking back at his older pictures, okay? So he started lifting weights around the age of 14. He was pretty ripped. Not much body fat. He wasn't like a fat kid. He was pretty lean. He had pretty good genetics. Seems like he had a lot of muscle for being a 14-year-old. And by a lot, I mean a little bit, because no 14-year-old has a lot of muscle. It just doesn't work like that. It takes years to develop a quality physique. Or does it? The most suspicious thing about Lex Little's development is his legs, and in particular, his quads. He went from having normal quads to 26-inch quads at the age of 17. Well, how big and impressive is a 26-inch quad? It's bigger than my legs right now. Right now, right this minute, I'm 195 pounds and I'm IB Pro bodybuilder. At 17 years of age, 26-inch quads, no big deal at 17. Lex Little is literally taller than me and weighs just under 195 pounds. So he's actually the same weight as me, but more stretched out. And almost all that weight, it seems to be in the quads. So in 3 years of Natty training, you are telling me Lex Little put on more muscle on his quads than I did with great genetics and PDs in my entire life. If you showed me his before and after and said, hey, this guy took PDs, everything under the sun, and check out what he did, I would say, wow, those PDs sure did work amazingly well. But he's going to say it's natural. So I like Lex Little. We talked on the phone. He sent messages. I listened to him talk. And he's adamant on the fact that he's natural. I said, well, I'm going to do a Natty or Not video on you, and you're not natural. And he's like, yeah, well, that's your opinion. You can do what you want. And I said, hey, if you go and do that powerlifting meet and you get drug tested and pass, then that'll change my mind. So Lex Little is literally training for a powerlifting meet. He said, hey, you can wait until after the meet if you want. You can wait till after. You can do it right now. So if Lex Little does the powerlifting meet and gets drug tested, passes, well, I'm going to have to change my story. Unless, of course, he goes to the powerlifting meet and all his lifts go down and he gets weaker, loses size, and then we'll say, hey, what just happened? Why were you big here and now you've lost all your size and strength? That would obviously prove that he's gone natural. I believe he started taking PDs, and no, not steroids. Everyone always says steroids. Does it make sense that he would actually say that he's not natural? He's only a teenager. He's only 19 now. He's not going to make a post and say, hey, I'm on SARMs. He can't do it. No kid can actually admit this. There is no one that's going to be a teenager and say, I'm on steroids. I'm on SARMs. You can't say it. It's not physically possible. Well, I guess it's physically possible, but they just can't do it. The ramifications are too great. They can't admit to it. So he said, hey, it's literally a compliment if you don't think I'm natural. You're an IB Pro bodybuilder. You know a lot about this. And if you think that I'm not natural because I'm too strong or too much muscle for being natural, that's a compliment. So see, he's using his head. It's not an insult to him, and nor should it be for you. If somebody says, you're not natural, there's no way you're natural. Take it as a compliment. Maybe you are. Maybe you're actually natural. Don't get mad at them. Say thank you. If somebody says, Coach Greg, you're not natural, you're on HRT, you're on every drug in the world, you take so much. Thank you. If they say, oh, I can tell you're natural. What? That's an insult. That is insulting. So for example, if somebody says to Jeff Cavalier, hey, I think you're natural, that's kind of an insult. If somebody says, hey, I know you're on HRT, you got me on something, well, it's kind of a compliment now, is it? See, not many people can actually use their brains. So Lex Little having me say, like straight up, I'm saying, you're not natural. You are not natural. I told him, you're not natural. I don't believe it. He's like, it's a compliment. He knows it's a compliment. Because if I said, yeah, I believe you, why do you believe me? Are my quads not big enough for you? They're 26 inches. I can deadlift 620 pounds. Did you not see my 365-pound bench press? I only weigh 190 some. I'm benching 365 as a teenager. Doesn't that impress you? Why do you think I'm natural? He's stronger than I was when I was his age by a lot. Not by a little bit, by a lot. Did you guys know I broke the Guinness World Record for the deadlift? Do you know I currently hold the Masters World Record for the bench press all time? The most anyone's ever done in my age and weight class. Lex is way stronger than when I was his age. Is that not pretty impressive that he could do that at that age? I started training at 10. He started at 14. Within 3 years, he was already lifting more than I was after I trained 9 years. I have really good genetics. I brag about it all the time. My genetics are amazing. You're not going to look like me no matter how hard you train. Lex Little, he listens to that and says, took you 9 years, I'll do it in 3, and I'll do way better than you, and I'll do it natural. He's going to enter the powerlifting meet. If he gets drug tested, then I'll have to make a video saying, man, I can't believe it. This guy's genetics are 10 times better than mine. And imagine how good he's going to be in the future. Imagine if his legs are 26 inches natural at 17. Ronnie Coleman had 33-inch legs at his biggest, and he wasn't natural. Ronnie Coleman has the best genetics of all time for getting huge. Lex Little's quads, 26 inches at 17. Even if he stays natty, they'll get to at least 30-plus inches natural. Imagine if he ever went to the dark side and started taking PEDs or even HRT. If he's already so strong at the age of 17, 18, 19, lifting all that weight, how strong is he going to be in the future, even as a natural lifter? Probably pretty close to Larry Wheels, roughly. I would say roughly equal to Larry Wheels. Larry Wheels, we know he's not natural, but Lex Little's genetics are so good and so superior because he's natural. Look how good he looks. Look at the quads. They're almost as big as his waist. Okay? It's hard to get quads as big as your waist. They're almost there. For sure, eventually, his quads are going to be bigger than his waist. Probably going to outlift Larry Wheels while natural. So his bench press numbers in bigger, because I'm the world record holder in the bench press, I love to look at the bench press numbers, okay? He did a video on YouTube, over 1 million views, his bench press transformation. Maybe I should put one of those. At the age of 15, he could bench press 135 pounds. When I was 13, I could bench 230. 230 at 13, can you believe it? Can you believe it? That's how much I could lift. And I was natural. I wouldn't lie to you. 13 years old was natural. I was benching 230 per day. And exactly 232 is actually what I did for my 1 rep max. 232, very specific numbers. A little bit behind me, but he started later in life. I started at 10, went through puberty young. By 13, I was a full-grown manlet. All 5'6¼ was already done growing at age 13, already went through puberty. At 18, he was benching 335. At age 19, benching 365. So he went from 135 pounds to 335 in 3 years, and now since then he's put on another 30. So it would appear the law of diminishing returns applying. He gained so much muscle so fast, so quickly, and now it's kind of slowed down. Now, this is my own personal theory. I believe that he started taking SARMs at age 15, put on a lot of weight, and then realized, hey, if I want to be a fake daddy, I can't just get as huge and as jacked as humanly possible. I got to hold back a little bit. So maybe I'll take low doses, just enough, and I'll slow it down. I've already got the 26-inch quads. I don't need to continue to take it. So you just gain enough muscle so you're freaky, but not too much that you're too freaky. I personally think he's too freaky. I also think he posts too many pictures in his underwear. What has happened over the years where now everyone can post underwear pics? He's always in his underwear posting pictures of his quads. Always in the undies. You gotta wear some shorts. When I was a kid, it was rare to even post a picture with your shirt off. It's like, you got your shirt off and taking pictures. Now, It's underwear all the time. It must be so strange for teenagers these days. Every time they look on their Instagram, everyone's half naked or naked. When I was a teenager, you had to sneak around and find a freaking Playboy magazine to see a naked photo. Nowadays, it's already there. In 1 second, you got it. As a kid, we didn't have internet. I'm so old, we didn't have the internet. Imagine when you were a kid, when you were my age. I can't believe I'm that old where I have differences. When I was a kid, I thought, oh, my parents, they say all this stuff. And then now I'm old and I feel like I'm a parent even though I don't have kids. So almost a year goes by in this photo. On the left, he's already looking like he's quite developed. Age 15, already had developed a lot of muscle that year. And the next year, age 16, way bigger, more round muscles, much bigger, abs even leaner. It looks like he's put on 0 body fat. In fact, probably dropped some while adding a tremendous amount of muscle. Not bad when you're all natty. More video of him in his underwear in various poses with his underwear and his pants down. Always in underwear, always with pants down. And I've spoken a lot about his legs, but his back is also really well developed. I mean, everything on his body is quite developed. He has a small waist. His legs are huge, probably too huge really to make up complete symmetry, but that's fine. He can just train his legs a little bit less, focus more on the upper body, balance that out. It would really be interesting to see him in actual competition. I don't know if we'll ever see him stand on stage. He told me he doesn't really know that much about diet, and that if you saw what he eats, you'd be like, how does he look that way? He knows a lot about training, he says, not so much about the diet. But obviously it doesn't friggin' matter now, does it?
It doesn't matter how you're doing.
Look at his friggin' body. It's quite developed, he's quite lean. It all comes down to calories in, calories out. You can screw up your diet quite a bit and still make a lot of muscle gains. As long as you're not eating in a surplus, you're gonna see the ab definition. At 16 years of age, you can already see he has the quad development of a well-established competitive bodybuilder, 25, 30, 35 years of age. At 16! Does that make sense? So from his transformation photo, you can see at the start, he's got pretty good abs, no chest, no arms, no shoulders, no muscle anywhere. It's good. He's got the little V marks on the stomach. All that means is he's lean. He has no actual muscle development. But he's young. He's 14 years of age. You can't expect him to be huge. But in my eyes, to me, that's pretty good genetics. Not ridiculous. Not like, oh my goodness, you can clearly see he's going to have 26-inch quads anytime now. But he has above average genetics. Listen, if he had crappy genetics, even with PEDs, he wouldn't look like he does right now. That's right. So if you're a teenager and you think this guy's in fact natural and you think you can do what he does, nope, you can't. And if you're a teenager and you think, hey, if I take steroids, SARMs, and whatever, I could probably look like Lex Little. Nope, you can't either. I've had people write me in the DMs, they say, hey, I'm really discouraged and watch your videos, you're saying, hey, I can't look like that unless I have really good genetics. I just feel like quitting, I feel like giving up. If you're only training in the gym because you want to look like Lex Little or some other freak, that's not the reason to do it. If you know right now you'll never look like that and you won't train, then stop now. Quit while you're ahead or quit while you're behind. But know this, if you train your ass off and you train as hard as you can, you go harder than last time and you do everything possible, you're going to get better. It's about being the best you that you can be. It's not about being Lex Little. It's not about being Coach Greg, not about being Joe Aesthetics. It's not about being Chris Bumstead. It's about being the best you that you can be. You are not going to look like your superhero that you want to look like. You might get halfway there. That should be your goal. Realistic goals, realistic expectations. All these supermodels, all these people that look amazing, you think they all look at their body in the mirror and think, yeah, I'm the best, I'm amazing? Half of them have insecurities. They're the least satisfied with what the reflection is in the mirror. It's tough for them. So don't think just because you don't look like them, you can't be happy, because even them, they're not happy. You ever think of that? Just be the best you could be. So don't train to look like someone. Train to better yourself, to improve. It's all about improvement. Who cares if you don't look as good as that person? Who cares if you're not single-digit body fat? If you're 20%, try to be 19. If you're 40%, try to be 39. If you have 200 pounds of muscle, try to be 201. If you have 100 pounds of muscle, try to be 101. You don't need to look like Mr. or Mrs. or Circle Freakzilla. You can be the best you that you can be. So you might be thinking, well, Lex Little doesn't have any gyno, and he doesn't have a bunch of acne, and he hasn't lost all his hair, so doesn't that mean he's natural? No, the fact that he has muscles that are developed like a 25-year-old advanced bodybuilder, that's the part that dictates that he's probably not natural. But even if he is, even if he has that, you know, the 1 in 10 million genetics that can actually do this natural, even if he is, does it really matter? Because you don't, you're not him. Just because he could do it, let's say he did it natural. Just because he did it doesn't mean you can. And does it matter even if you can? Let's say your genetics are 10 times better than this. Let's say you've got 26-inch quads, you're 12. So what? You still want to be the best you that you can be. And I'm not just talking about your physique. I'm talking about everything in life. This channel, it seems like people think it's all about how you look. It's not all about how you look. It's how you feel. Mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally, everything. Be the best you can be at everything in life. At your job, with your friends, relationships, everything. Work on yourself. Be better. Eat better. Sleep better. Train better. Study harder. Treat people better. Pay attention more. Do everything you need to do to be the best you that you can be. We only have so many years on this planet. Trying to maximize it through exercise. But you also want to enjoy yourself on this planet. If you're worried about how you look all the time, you are not going to have a lot of fun on this earth. So many people, they don't like the image they see in the mirror. I'm not going to that party because, well, I don't look good enough. I'm not going to the beach because my body doesn't look good enough. I can't go, so I can't take the shirt off. Shut the lights off, honey. I don't look good tonight. My hair's not done. I can't go out. I don't want to. Everybody's worried about how they freaking look, and no one can have a good time. You have to get your makeup done and your hair done and the whole thing just to go out, have a brand new suit. And no, wear freaking stringer at a party if you want. Wear what you want, do what you want, be what you want, and have freaking fun. But realize your health is important. So what do I think overall? I think Lex Little's not natural. Do I care? I care zero if he's natural or not. If he's natural, freaking unbelievable. If he's on PDs, still unbelievable. Regardless, unbelievable. He works hard, he trains hard. And I'm just glad that he's not insulted by me thinking he's not natural. So don't write him and say, you're not natural, you're natural. Who cares? Be the best you that you can be. You're not him, he's him. He's going to be the best he can be with or without PDs. Okay? That's the message. GregDoucette.com for coaching. Greg Doucette, IB Pro. Follow me on Instagram. Blooping up 2 videos. Be sure to at least watch 1. Come on, you want to watch at least 1. And until next time, subscribe, get the swoosh, maybe a swish, and I'm out.